What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 7, and we start today's episode off with a game against Queen's Park Rangers here at the Den. So we take on QPR, who are of course the league leaders in the game so far, and I think in real life too. So we take on QPR, and yeah, I mean it's always going to be a difficult game because QPR, another London side coming here. They are, without doubt, you know, the favourites to go up. They've got the best squad in the Championship, and they are 6 points clear in the game. They're one of 3 unbeaten sides in the division so far: QPR, Wigan, and of course us, Millwall. So they are one of the 3 unbeaten sides. And of course, as you can see here, they've got a really good side. I really admire what Harry Redknapp's doing in real life as well, trying to get rid of the high earners and bring in some young talent such as Charlie Austin and Phillips. But anyway, we do take on QPR, and the first chance of the game came 12 minutes in here. The cross from Joey Barton was met by the head of Andy Johnson. Really good chance for the former Fulham man, but he could only put the ball wide, and it was still 0-0. And in the 23rd minute, a great chance for us here. Carrasco finds Morison. First time free ball into Liam Trotter, but overran it, and Julio Cesar made a decent save. So still 0-0 here. But on the stroke of half time, Nicky Bailey carries the ball forward, finds Liam Feeney down the right hand side here. Good chance for us. Try and cross the ball in. It's eventually cleared up in the air. Comes to Nicky Bailey, heads the ball back to Liam Trotter. Good first touch on the chest, gives it to Liam Feeney, crosses the ball in, and how about this for a volley by Steve Morison? Finds the back of the net, really good strike. The technique on that was fantastic. Julio Cesar sort of just collapsed, really. I mean, I know you'll see it on the replay and you probably think, how on earth did Julio Cesar not save that? But it was a really powerful and quick volley by Morison. Really good technique. It finds the top of the net, and yeah, Julio Cesar can't keep it out. You know, maybe he could have got a glove to it, really, because it was a central strike, but it was very powerful and some good technique as well. And Morison brings up his 6th goal of the Championship. So a great strike by Steve Morison. That makes it 1-0 to us. But in the 63rd minute, a good chance for QPR. Rafael Sobis, how about that? Gets onto the ball, finds Junior Hoylett, plays the ball free to Andy Johnson. Another good chance for him, but Nyla makes a good save at his near post. And it's also how the game finished. So a 1-0 victory over QPR, which means their unbeaten run in the season is over. They have lost for the first time this season, and yeah, now brings us 3 points closer to them at the top of the table. So that's really good, because if we would have lost that game, they would have been 9 points clear already. That would have been really worrying. But now we've closed the gap to just 3 points, and that's a huge result. That's a really big result, and I'm very happy with that one. So that's good news for us. And straight afterwards, we saw Bolivia come in for us and say, will you manage our nation? And I was just like, no, I'm not interested. I'm not even going to stall it and pretend that I've got some kind of faint interest like I'm doing for Finland and South Africa. I'm just not interested. So Bolivia, we say no, and we will most likely say no to Finland and South Africa. I know managing a nation is, you know, always a good spin-off to the club side of career mode. I know that everyone seems to think it's, you know, like it's not pointless or anything, because you just sim the qualifiers and the friendlies, or at least I do, and then just play the tournaments when they come round for a bit more fun. But when it comes down to managing a nation like Bolivia, I just have no interest whatsoever, to be honest. But anyway, the following game was against Blackpool here at Bloomfield Road, and of course we're now just 3 points behind the leaders QPR. So we're closing the gap. We're closing the gap on QPR, and a win here against Blackpool. And if QPR were to lose, we would then be level on points. So that was a very nice prospect for us. We came into this game. But the first chance did come to us. Carrasco down the left-hand side plays a wonderful free ball to Steve Morison, the only goal scorer in the QPR game. His shot was well saved. And then somehow the shot came in from Henry, I think it was, took a deflection, then hit Morison and just went wide of the post. So still 0-0, but Blackpool had a good chance in the 20th minute here. Dobby's onto the ball, gets past the defender, wonderful touch there, finds Michael Chopra, but his shot goes wide of Nyla's post. So good chance for Chopra, but still 0-0. But in the 26th minute, another good chance for Blackpool. Cross comes in towards Ricardo Fuller at the back post. His header goes wide, so still 0-0, but Blackpool were beginning to threaten quite a bit here. But on the stroke of half time, we give the ball back to our goalkeeper, who clears the ball out of the field to Liam Trotter. Trotter's onto the ball, and he's got his man down the right hand side, James Henry. Henry back to Trotter. Trotter back to Henry. Lovely link-up play there. Henry's through down the right-hand side. Real good chance here. Chips it inside, and Trotter, oh my god, why did he dive in headed at? Why didn't he just half volley it? Take some lessons from Steve Morison. You know, look at how he volleyed against QPR. Do that. Don't dive and head at the ball. You're not going to get to it. But yeah, still 0-0. We should have scored there, and we were still level here. But in the 50th minute here, James Henry goes down the right side, crosses the ball in, and well, Morison shows how you do head the ball. Really good header past the goalkeeper. No chance for him. And and a lovely cross by James Henry. His crossing is so accurate, and Morison heads the ball past the goalkeeper and makes it Blackpool 0, Millwall 1. So really, really good for us to be in front in this game. And he's here in the 74th minute. Carrasco's onto the ball, jumps over it, plays it through to Steve Morison. Good chance here. Stops with the ball, drags it back, finesses it just wide of the far post. I thought it was going to creep into the top corner there. Just went wide, sadly. Matt Gilks was relieved, but still 1-0. And in the 83rd minute, a great chance to seal it. Michael Ngoo, his chip gets blocked, but it comes back to him after he intercepts Bradley Orr. Waghorn plays him through, and Ngoo shoots, but it does go wide of the post. But it doesn't matter because we did get the 3 points. So it's 2 wins out of 2 here, and Morison got the only goal of the game. So Morison with both goals in these games, and yeah, a really good header by Morison after a good crossing as well. So Blackpool 0, Millwall 1. It is another win. It's another 3 points, and I was very, very, very happy with that result because Blackpool as well are a very decent side on the game. They've got some good players in there, so I was very happy with that. And straight afterwards, we saw that Gail Perdomo says he's been speaking to his agent and he's realised that the role at the club he was offered is not being fulfilled or something like that. And I was like, well, you know, let's be honest, mate, you were always going to be a bench player. So yeah, we might try and send him out on loan in January. Of course, that'll mean we've only got 2 goalkeepers, and one of those will be a 51 rated goalkeeper. But you know, I don't want to see a player unhappy, so we might just loan him out in January. And yeah, there you go. But here's the squad report, and I can't believe I have to keep saying this to you guys. Squad reports, for those that keep commenting, squad reports and the full league table is shown at the start of each month, okay? So they're shown once a month. It's really not that hard of a concept to grasp, okay? They're shown at the start of every month. Just be patient and you'll see it. So squad reports and the league table are shown at the start of each month in the game. Anyway, yeah, you can see how the players are developing. It is not a great squad to begin with. We knew that. You know, Lomas has made a load of signings in the summer. We've inherited quite a few of those players and we haven't managed to shift them all on. But it's still not a great squad. You know, so we'll be trying to develop. We probably won't be able to do any business in January because we've got no money. But for next summer anyway, I'm already starting to get some targets in. But here's a look at the league table as well. Just like the squad report is shown at the start of every month. And yeah, we are second, 3 points behind QPR. It's been a good start, you know. I mean, we're 15 games in, you know, we're like a third of the way through the season. And, you know, to be sitting second, that's really impressive. You know, definitely didn't think that would be a possibility. But we're doing quite well. Just need to keep maintaining these results, and yeah, I mean, at the start of the series, I did say, you know, I think that a realistic aim for us would be, you know, playoffs, you know, between the positions of like, you know, 3rd to 6th, or, you know, maybe dropping out of the playoffs just a little bit and going down towards, you know, a sort of a high league table finish / you know, just before, you know, what you'll classify as mid-table. So, you know, where Watford and Birmingham are for the moment in his career mode. You know, some position like that, and then sort of strengthen for next year. But I didn't think we'd be sitting in the automatic promotion, so I'm very happy with that so far. But we took on Leicester for the 3rd and final game of the episode here. And Leicester, of course, have a really, really decent side and a goalkeeper in there that I really do rate in Kasper Schmeichel, of course, son of a legend, Peter Schmeichel. But the first chance did come to us here in the 9th minute. Nicky Bailey, what a great free ball to find the run of Scott Malone. Crosses the ball in, Morison gets to it, but Schmeichel doing his dad proud there. Really decent save, and it is still 0-0. And from the corner, it's Nicky Bailey crosses the ball in towards Danny Shitu, and again, Schmeichel tips the ball over the bar. So a bit of a carbon copy of the first save, really. Just sticks an arm up, he's like, yeah, that's easy, tips it over the bar. Still 0-0, and in the 10th minute here, the cross comes in. I think it was Mark B was going in at the far post. Yes, it was. His header just went wide, and it's still Leicester 0, Millwall 0. Good chance for Leicester here. Knockouts free kick goes just over the bar, so still 0-0 in the 18th minute. But some good chances early on for both sides. But straight from kick-off here in the second half, Carrasco's onto the ball, gets past David Nugent with a nice piece of skill, ends up giving the ball away, gets it down the right hand side. I'm going to leave that sneeze in for a laugh. Plays the ball out wide to James Henry, crosses the ball in, and it's another really good header by Morison. It's 3 goals out of 3 for Steve Morison, and it's a really good header. I know crosses are OP, and all 3 goals so far have been crosses, but even so, this is exactly what I love about my wingers. They're so good at crossing the ball in, so it's 1-0 here. And Morison gets his 3rd goal of the episode. I'm going to leave that sneeze in just for a laugh. And anyway, in the 51st minute here, Liam Chottle gets on the ball down the right hand side, plays it through to Carrasco, who stops the ball, scoop turn, body feint, plays it through, and James Henry, what a chance that was. But his shot goes straight into the gloves of Kasper Schmeichel. That should have been 2-0 there. Still 1-0 though. But in the 58th minute, David Nugent gets on the ball, plays it through to Knockout. Great ball through to Lloyd Dyer, who shoots, and Lloyd Dyer makes it 1-1 here. So Leicester back on level terms, first goal conceded in a few games, and a very disappointing goal that one. It was a nice piece of passing, really decent passing, and a good finish by Lloyd Dyer, but even so the defence kind of split down the middle, and that was quite disheartening really. So Leicester back on level terms, 1-1 here, and in the 76th minute here, Watson's onto the ball, plays it through to Lloyd Dyer, looking for his second goal here, but Nyland sticks out a leg and stops the ball going across the face of goal, and that could have been 2-1 there. But in injury time here, what a great chance for the game to be sealed off in Leicester's favour. It's Chris Wood down the left-hand side. It gets past Mark Beevers, crosses the ball into Watson at the far post, who takes aim on a half volley. Again, Nyland stands big at his near post and keeps the score at 1-1. But it was a real heart-and-mouth moment in the last chance of the game here. Chris Wood, obviously former of Millwall on loan, gets onto the ball. And watch this from Danny Shittu. He gets past Weiser, and Shittu just barges him off the ball. And I gotta be honest, I thought that was going to be a penalty. Thankfully for me, though, it wasn't, and the game does finish 1-1. So a very decent point against a very strong Leicester side, and we are still unbeaten in the league, which is fantastic. And as always, guys, a big thank you for watching today's video. Apologies for that sneeze. If you've enjoyed it, please leave a like, and I will see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.